Stem cells extend health span and support really good long-term regeneration. And they can detect areas of damage, and they can go in and hone in and really stimulate the tissue to repair, reduce inflammation, attract other healing elements in the body. There's clinical studies that have shown that stem cells injection can improve pain, function, mobility, even cartilage thickness. And that's what we've experienced as a clinic, is just seeing amazing outcomes. Just the smallest improvement in that joint gap can make a world of difference in how that joint moves and functions, and how much pain it causes as well. All right, welcome everybody to the Ageless Future Podcast. This is your host today, Cade Archibald. Today we're going to be diving into a really cool topic around regenerative medicine and stem cell. So we'll dive in there. It's going to be a fairly quick session. Reagan is in the midst of traveling, and I coach a sixth grade football team. It is our last week, so this should be the last time I have to cut it so short. But I'm excited to jump into the topic today. We'll have a cool challenge here at the end. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to dive right in. So we're talking stem cell vitality and regeneration, and really why this is important. Last week, we talked a lot about inflammation and how different things create inflammation, and there's different solutions for inflammation. And so stem cells are one of the ways that we've seen just be super impactful with reducing inflammation by releasing anti-inflammatory cytokines like IL-10 and IGF beta or TGF beta. They calm the immune system by overreaction and just create overall vitality boost in overall performance, as well as vitality, cognition, increase mitochondrial performance, and even see it improve BDNF or brain derived neurotrophic factor. And so, really, if you look at the core of that, just by promoting tissue repair and healing in the body and replacing damaged cells with really good cells, stem cells extend health span and support really good long-term regeneration. So we'll start at kind of the basics. And, for some of you, this may be elementary. For others, if you've never really looked at what stem cells are, it might be interesting to go back in time to biology class. But stem cells are just a unique cell that has the ability to replicate itself and create more and more stem cells. It also has the ability to differentiate into different cell types. So a muscle or a nerve or an immune cell. So they have this self-renewing power to divide and create more and more stem cells and create more and more regeneration. So, from a biology standpoint, really fascinating how some of the possibilities are with stem cells. And so there's a few different kinds of stem cells. So you have MSCs, mesenchymal stem cells, or in more recent times, we've referred to them as signaling cells, but they can be sourced from different tissues, commonly found in bone marrow, adipose, so fat tissue, as well as umbilical cord tissue. So bone marrow, you can tap into your hip, take out some bone marrow, and there's some good amounts of stem cells in there. You can also do that through your fat tissue or adipose tissue. But what we've seen to be probably the most youthful and most vibrant is from the umbilical cord tissue, because if we're getting stem cells from our fat or our bone marrow, that has to come from oneself. And oneself, I know I've been exposed to a lot of crazy stuff in my lifetime. I'm sure you've been exposed to different toxins, chemicals, just living life, breathing the air we breathe, versus the umbilical cord tissue just created life. It's brand new, very fresh, and hasn't been exposed to nearly as much as maybe we have in later years. And so, those are some of the different ways to look at it. Here's some really cool images on some knee regeneration, but essentially just talking about stem cells, they can detect areas of damage and they can go in and hone in and really stimulate the tissue to repair, reduce inflammation, attract other healing elements in the body, and really create some joint regeneration. There's clinical studies that have shown that stem cells injection can improve pain, function, mobility, even cartilage thickness, and that's what we've experienced as a clinic, is just seeing amazing outcomes when it comes to these stem cell procedures in umbilical cord tissue, with being able to just get somebody out of pain, get them moving better, functioning better. And you start moving those joints, you get a little bit of cushion, because just the smallest improvement in that joint gap can make a world of difference in how that joint moves and functions, and how much pain it causes as well. And that pain can be extremely debilitating, and so can get you back moving, exercising. So some other examples here is, this is a shoulder and rotator cuff on arthritis, seeing huge improvements in the joint space there. But really the overall key thing is just what you're doing to provide this joint or that specific area with the ability to heal more rapidly and kind of get over that degeneration. Because usually what's happened is, if you're not healing from a chronic injury, it's just not quite repairing. Our bodies, I think we'd all agree, we have built-in healing mechanisms in our bodies, and our bodies are made to heal themselves. Sometimes they just don't have the right ingredients, or they just need a kickstart. So if we're so far down on the degeneration side, or our immune system's not quite acting right, it can make it really difficult to kind of trigger that healing response. And so we look at what we're doing with some of these different umbilical cord tissue injections is just boosting the whole body and the system to be able to create more and more healing capabilities for itself. Just see it, amazing things with shoulders, with hips. This is a patient of ours that came in that really could not function in a lot of different ways. Range of motion was significantly impaired, but after some different injections as well as some acupuncture, she passed the strength test and had 80% range of motion improvement, no pain. That's life-changing. We've worked on a brain rejuvenation treatment where it's an intranasal. And we've seen some great things there from the cognitive perspective, memory recall. That's been my biggest experience with this. And this is something that you could look at as, hey, I don't want you guys to think stem cells are just panacea, and if anything's wrong with me, stem cells are going to fix it. But really, from a preventative standpoint, I love the intranasal, just helping support and clear the brain. But it can also be very good at helping reduce some of the neuroinflammation in the body or in the brain, as well as just helping create some neuroprotective factors. Here's another study on grim age and human clinical biomarkers, and showed how these umbilical cord plasma concentrate was able to reduce the age, and how people were measuring on their grim age biomarkers. And so along with that, you have proven, pain relief and improvement in function, different cartilage regeneration, very safe, non-invasive. Doesn't have to be done in a surgical center, or have a big extensive surgery or procedure done. And obviously stem cells, we don't use them as a treatment or a cure for specific diseases, but these are some of the things that they support, from different foot, ankle, Achilles, tendons, arthritis, degeneration, back pain, degenerative discs, different back surgery failures. All your different joints we've seen just awesome things there. And neck pain, back pain, different forms of kind of degeneration and arthritis, and even seeing it helpful in autoimmune conditions and anti-aging, with just helping calm down, just enhancing the body's own immune intelligence, and seeing it be very helpful in skin as well. helping with, fine line wrinkles. Obviously, Botox is one thing, but, when you can get stem cells to help just solidify the skin and create more elasticity, better collagen and elastin production, that's probably a safer way than maybe using Botox. So here for your challenge tonight, one of the things that we've found is alcohol can impact stem cell proliferation in the body. That's why typically, post stem cells, we recommend, take it easy or try not to have any alcohol. Maybe if you have a glass of wine, it's not the end of the end of the world, but we're all about creating an ageless future and reducing any input that's going to cause more damage on your cells in your body. And so our challenge for you, and you can take us up on it, or obviously you don't have to, but our challenge would be don't wait for the new year. Most people will say, hey, I'm not drinking after December 31st. We're well into quarter four. So New Year's is right around the corner. And so let's look at, okay, well, maybe let's not drink during the holidays. It may add a little bit of angst right up front, but there's a lot of other more beneficial things you can utilize to ease those holiday anxieties with families. Hopefully you enjoy being with family. I just say that sarcastically, but yeah, that's our challenge for you guys for this week, and maybe look at doing it for a month, for the next 3 months, whatever challenge you want to set longer term. This one's the week challenge, and for some of you, you might be like, oh well, I'm not worried about that. I don't drink anyways, which is great. So maybe find a different habit that may not be serving you well, and kick that one, because this with alcohol impacts your sleep, exercise, metabolism, stress level. Your stress resilience goes down significantly. So hopefully you guys learned something new tonight, and you got some good insights here on stem cell vitality. And we will be back next week, same time, same place. Love you all. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.